Welcome back to Johto! Yes, this is Pokémon Soul Silver as promised. This is a remake of Generation 2 of Pokémon, a game that I still maintain to this day has not aged well at all. But Game Freak has done a marvelous job, an absolutely fantastic job at remaking that game. Well, except for designing Lyra's outfit, as we're seeing here, but otherwise, it might just be the greatest remake of all time. It took every single flaw that Generation 2 had and tossed it out the window, improved the graphics, improved the sound, improved just about everything, put the mechanics up to date, everything. It's just near flawless. I say near because I still think Platinum's better, and obviously Black and White as well, but other than that, they have done a fantastic job, recapturing that old school spirit while actually updating it with all that new good stuff. So, we're about to begin the game after this opening rant here. No info needed. All this that I skipped is stuff you can find in the manual anyway. Anyway, we're going to move on to the usual introduction. This is Professor Oak, and no, this is still not his game, but I've already mentioned that in my Crystal LP. This is going to be sort of a challenge, not repeating the same things I've said in the Crystal LP, but I've had enough practice, I think. I've been LPing for almost 3 years, so I think I'm up to the task. But I still think this bit is especially difficult to commentate on since it's the 5th time that we've seen it in this LP series. So now that Meryl goes away, he's going to ask me if I'm a boy or a girl. Classic Pokemon joke right there, though it's still nowhere near as funny as Juniper's. Are you a boy or a girl? Okay, now let me introduce you to your 2 best friends. They're my 2 best friends! I don't need to be introduced to them. Anyway, my name, Jeff. There we go. And by the way, those who still slam the DS and the 3DS's touchscreen for being a gimmick, well, I disagree. This is so convenient at times like this not to have to move a cursor around. I honestly don't think I could go without a touchscreen on a portable system anymore. So, anyway, classic sprite transformation. Let's check our computer first. There's a mailbox. Oh, and we already got mail from Lyra. Okay, what does she want? Adventure! Excited! I love Pokemon! Well, that was the most pointless letter ever! So, moving right along. We got a Wii here. Wii is huge in Johto too. Okay, obvious self-marketing. There's a TV here. No Stand By Me playing on it, apparently. Speaking of which, almost 3 years later, I still get replies telling me the movie is Stand By Me. I even got one today! Believe it or not, what a coincidence. So, yeah, Lyra was just here, she was playing hide and seek, blah blah blah. And now she's gonna send me off to see Professor L, but, aren't you forgetting about something, Mom? The menu? Because you actually get given the menu in this game. So now we got our bag, 2 bag fuck things, we got our trainer card, the option to save, thank you very much, and the options are helpful, if only to have the text scroll a little faster, which I'm going to attend to right now. Fast, confirm, there we go, wasn't that convenient? So, is there anything on TV? Oh, I just had to mention Stand By Me! Okay, so it's episode 2, of which movie is this? Because I still have absolutely no idea. And I'm gonna get replies about it for the next 3 years too. Great. And what's in the fridge? We're gonna see drinking water and lemonade. Well, Cave Johnson ain't coming over here anytime soon. And oh yeah, who's in the mood for some volcano bake meat? Yeah, 4 minutes and a half into this thing and already 2 Viet Crystal references. Expect a lot more of these. Just saying. Anyway, this is Lyra's Meryl. This is Lyra, who, as I said before, is even more of a fashion disaster than Dawn is, which is saying quite a lot. And, well, wasn't that pointless? Anyway, Oh, just one question though. Why does it say Jeff's house? It's not like I'm the master of the house. My mom is. So why isn't it like Jeff's mom's house, since she apparently doesn't have a name? Parents rarely have a name in RPGs anyway. Old RPG cliche. And yeah, this is Lyra's dad. Since I have a mom but no dad, and she's got a dad but no mom. So many jokes to be made, but I'm gonna let you make up your own. So, can we see anything in the kitchen? Not likely. He's not making volcano baked meat. Anyway, you shouldn't mess with someone else's PC. Well, I'm gonna mess with her Wii instead. Oh man, I can't play with her Wii. Too bad. Anyway, this is the big news in town. Professor Elm is looking for me, even though I live next door. And apparently I just woke up or something. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Just outside of this house, as you can see, there's a fat guy. However, this fat guy, unlike other first town fat guys in the series, isn't a technology aficionado. No, the technology is incredible guy in this game, and Gold Silver Crystal as well, is all the way over in Pallet Town. Anyway, yeah. Pikachu evolves from Pichu. This was first discovered by Professor Elm. I should say, though, that there's a lot of retconning in this game when it comes to, discoveries that happened in the last 3 years, because Generations 1 and 3 happened 3 years earlier, and in Generation 3, you had stuff like Pichu's running around, so some retconning was in order. Anyway, this guy here is going to be our rival for this game. His name is, of course, Silver, who kicks us out of there. What a monster. Coach. Yeah, I went there. 3 references in less than 7 minutes. I must be breaking some kind of record here. Anyway, yeah, he's Professor Elm's assistant. He's got nothing for us right now, but he's going to give us some items later. Anyway, this is Professor Elm, who is going to send us off on an errand to see Mr. Pokémon on Route 30, the exact same as in Gold, Silver, Crystal. However, this time around there's a little twist. He wants to figure out if walking around with your Pokémon is going to make you develop closer bonds with them. Hint. It doesn't, because you're just walking around with your lead, and it doesn't seem to affect happiness or anything like that in any meaningful way. So, yeah, just spoiled that entire plot point for you, even though it's not going to appear too much until the end of the game. It was just an excuse to have Pokemon follow you around. Anyway, this is one change from Crystal, a very minor change. His first intention was to have you walk around with the Pokemon outside of its Pokeball, and only then he got the email from Mr. Pokemon, and so he decides to kill two birds in one stone and have me go around with my starter to Mr. Pokemon's house. So he's going to make me choose one of the 3 Pokemons over there, and no snack wrapper at all this time around. It wasn't a choice in Generation 2, but now it doesn't even exist. Anyway, just save stated in case I got a bad nature. I can choose between Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil. And my choice is going to be Chikorita! Yeah, I know it's the worst of the 3, but I'm going to explain my intentions as far as this Chikorita goes a bit later on when I have the time. Anyway, yeah, it's not bad, is it? Well, it's mostly pointless because it really doesn't do a whole lot. It's just an excuse to say, hey, look how cool I am. I got a Pokemon following me around. But I gotta give them props, though. They bothered to have all 493 sprites, overworld sprites, that is, programmed into this game. So that must have taken at least a bit of effort for something that's so pointless. Such a shame. Anyway, what's the nature? Hopefully it's a good one. Hasty nature. Yeah, I don't like this nature at all. It's supposed to be a defensive Pokemon, so I guess I'm going to reset and reload for a better nature. Okay, attempt number 3 yielded a quiet nature, which boosts special attack and lowers speed. So, yeah, I can live with that. Let's just check up on our Chikorita, staring steadfastly at Jeff's face. Well, okay, stare all you want, but you're gonna be doing some fighting soon, little boy. So, okay, he's gonna give us, well, I was about to say this is too early for the Pokeballs, but these are potions, which sort of makes sense since I can't catch any Pokemon yet. So before we head out, I don't think we can head out to Route 29 quite yet, can we? Oh, that hyperactive Marill. Trying so hard to fill Barry's shoes, and yet failing miserably. Because at least Lyra does a few things, but the Marill, totally pointless. It's just to say that she's got a Pokemon. So, yeah, I'm gonna show it to my mom. Oh yeah, I remember now. She's gonna give me my Pokegear in the by the same occasion. So I'm gonna head back home to go get the I was about to say the Pokegear! Sorry. That's what happens after recording 131 videos of Platinum. Anyway, we're gonna get the Pokegear, which is going to have only 2 functions for the time being. There's gonna be the clock, and there's gonna be the phone card as well. The map card and radio card are going to be obtained at a later time. Also, unlike in Gold, Silver, Crystal, the clock isn't its own card. It's permanently featured whenever you open the Pokegear, no matter which card you have. So, yeah, she's basically telling me that I can use Pokegear to make a phone call, and, we're just gonna get a little refresher course on how to make a phone call. It's just a bit of text, it won't hurt, and it also explains it pretty well, better than I could do anyway. I can't believe it's so easy to make a phone call. Well, it's making a phone call. It should never be difficult at all. Anyway, I'm just gonna get this dialogue out of the way, and after that, I'm just gonna try and get out and call my mom just to give a little demonstration of how this works. Click on the Pokegear, mother, call, and, hello? How's the errand going? I just left the house 5 seconds ago! What kind of question is that? Of course, I can't really expect the game to recognize that, so I'm not going to be too harsh on it. So, anyway, we're going off to Route 29 now. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Professor Allen has something else to say. What does he want? Because I honestly don't remember. I forgot about this. Oh, yeah, he's got to give us his number, obviously. Anyway, one thing about the phone, it's one of the great things that have been improved since Generation 2. You can now store an unlimited number of phone numbers in it, so no more constantly deleting phone numbers for trainers you don't want. And by the way, you probably can't hear it over the sound of my commentary, but if you play this game, you'll know it for yourself. Whenever you walk in grass, even if it's not tall grass, you're going to hear the grass rustling under your feet, which is a really neat touch. We're going to hear more sound effects like this as we go on in the game. For example, when you're close to water, you can actually hear the water. Once again, really nice touch. And one thing, I was talking about the Pokemon following you around as, wow, I'm actually going quite the distance without fighting a single random battle. Get this item there. Potion bag fuck. There we go. First item, bag fucked in this LP. And, there we go. I was wondering when a random battle would start. Anyway, when I was talking about, the Pokemon following you around, when I said it didn't increase happiness, what I meant was it doesn't increase happiness any more than when it's in a Pokeball, because, as we all know, just walking around with your Pokemon, even if they're in a Pokeball, is going to raise their happiness by a certain amount of points every 256 steps. And by the way, one more thing too, unlike in other Pokemon games, the tall grass, it's all one big mass instead of separate patches. The reason for that is because I guess there was no real need to have them as individual patches, because the Poké-Radar didn't make a comeback, sadly. It's only Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Anyway, this toll booth here leads to Route 46. We can only explore very, very little of this route for now, only the southernmost end. But I'm just going to go and check it out to see if there are any people or items, though, but that's gonna have to wait until next time because we're almost running out of time. So next time on Pokemon Soul Silver, Route 46, and the rest of the path to Cherry Grove.